Hi everyone, this is Joyce Carle and I am a master gardener, and here we are on a beautiful morning at the Iowa State Fairgrounds Discovery Garden. So anytime during the fair there are 5 master gardeners available for the public to approach and ask them about a flower, a plant, anything related to gardening.
What the Master Gardener program is about is, number one, education. Master gardeners are just not here in central Iowa. They are throughout the state. We do serve so many different counties, and we provide education at farmers markets. We provide education at the Discovery Garden or the Demonstration Garden, at the Enabling Garden in Altoona. So there's lots of ways we can contribute to volunteer. So it's fun that people know who you are and they seek you out. So we can provide formal education to people, but just in an informal setting we help people too.
Well, I wanted to become a master gardener because I've always enjoyed gardening. So I thought, well, I'd like to pursue that interest. And so I checked into the Master Gardener program and what it involved to become one. And I thought, sure, I can do that. One of the ways I volunteer my hours are in the Discovery Garden here at the Iowa State Fairgrounds.
What attracted me to being a master gardener is I love being outdoors. I like to learn, and it's also a way to serve the community too. As part of being a master gardener, we do fun projects like the Discovery Garden, which I always enjoy when I came to the state fair. Now as a master gardener during the state fair, I volunteered. And it's always interesting because, number one, people typically have questions about their issues with plants at home, and we can give them education about that. So we try to give them some pointers about some of the growing habits of different plants and what would work best in their spaces they have at home, because they like to replicate things here. We've had folks that say, hey, how do I recreate this garden at home? And so we really give them some great ideas on how to do that.
And this is a bed that kind of is self-maintaining, although it has 2 of our master gardeners that are responsible for it, and it's called our native bed. And it has all of the native prairie flowers. One of my favorites in this bed is the white wild indigo. See this plant right here? This is it. Look at the pods on that. That is already bloomed. And we have milkweeds in here, which of course attract the monarchs. We like that.
A lot of people are interested in the native plants now too. I think folks are looking at more perennials, native species, because we want to attract butterflies. We have had decline in monarch populations in especially the last 10 years. And so they're interested in looking at how do we make plantings that attract butterflies, also promote bee feeding habitats too. Our honeybees are so important to our growing process. And they'd like to know about how do we attract bees, how do we attract pollinators.
And this is my bed with 5 others, so I probably know the most about this bed. We've called our bed Lavender Lace. And in it we have, one of my favorites this year is the Gazania, and it is white with purple on the inside. We have kale, and we have fennel, smoky fennel, sweet potato vine, and this is not a trailing sweet potato vine, it is a mounding sweet potato vine. Oh, and this is the favorite of all the fairgoers, the tunnel. So we plant hyacinth bean. We saved the seeds from the year before, and then in the spring we plant hyacinth bean all along the outside and along the inside, and then as they grow, you can see we have trained this to come up the fence and engulf this framework, and we'll have a tunnel with a hyacinth bean. And the children love to go through it. A lot of the fairgoers will ask what this is, and it's not a real common plant, but And I love it too. It's called Amsonia Blue Star. And that's been there for many years. It's a beautiful, light and airy plant. And then we have up here the rotunda bed. And it's also very colorful, and it's right at the entrance of the agricultural building, so it gets a lot of attention. This is one of our container plants this year. It's kind of new, and it's called Manahot. And it has a red stem, which is beautiful, and then the green and the gold, and then the red veins. Beautiful plant. And then we paired it with the pink pentas. It's going to be a beautiful container plant. And this is our stream bed. We have impatiens and coleus along the bed, lots of color. And all the plants are identified if you come through the garden. If you like a plant, you can write down the name of it and go home and research it and see if you can plant it and grow it yourself. That's the good thing about the garden. Everything is labeled.
Every year things are a bit different over here. You know, we start planting this garden, planning the year ahead of time. And so it's real exciting to see the different flower beds being developed, planned, developed, and grow.
We have a different plan, different color scheme. We're always looking for plants that are new or a little bit unusual that maybe the fairgoers would like to look at, and then they ask more questions about the new plants. Of course, we get questions all the time about every plant, so it's a fun experience for the master gardeners. We look forward to it. You know, I don't consider myself an expert, but I realize when people come through the garden during the fair that I know more than I think I do. If they ask me about a certain kind of flower, I usually know, and if I don't know, we have all these resources available.
And the nice thing about the Discovery Garden, we're here during the fair, but also the fairgrounds is open throughout the summer too. And so it's really great to see family members come out not only during the fair time, but also prior to the fair, after the fair, so they wander around the garden. It's a real family activity. The maze is open for the kids to walk through. Kids really love that. So it's something just not isolated to that 2-week period of time. Come out and enjoy the gardens throughout the summer because they're here for our community to soak it all in. It just feels good out here. It's a great stress reliever. Just knowing there's some beautiful things out here that aren't being impacted by everything else going on in the community right now, that you can be away from the noise and the stress at home and the stress at work and be here to hear the birds, because all those things really help us relax and enjoy nature. I look forward to talking to people when they come to the Discovery Gardens. I can share my excitement with them and say how they become excited. Also, people want to know how can they become a master gardener too, so I can share my experience with them.
If you are interested in learning more about gardening, a Master Gardeners is for you. I've totally enjoyed it. I mean, it brings out what I love. I love to plant, I love to watch it grow, and then the thrill of seeing everybody else enjoy what we do at the Discovery Garden at the Iowa State Fairgrounds.